High Speed, my first game that I ever bought. So I'm gonna start a new series here where I go through each game in the collection and kind of delve deep into it. Talk about where it came from, the condition it was when I got it, work that was done, and then I'll show you under the playfield, behind the back glass, and then actually play the game. So I'm gonna start with High Speed. High Speed was my first game that I bought, August of 2018. I bought this High Speed from an operator in Germany, and it had been used on route, and it had definitely, it was definitely showing its age. The back glass, as you see, is original. It's in pretty good shape. There's no real flaking or anything happening there. I did LED the back glass, or the lights in the back glass here. But the major damage with High Speed when I got it was the playfield. Now the playfield was really worn. In my early days of pinball, I thought it was a foregone playfield. It needed to be stripped off and start again. Today, I probably wouldn't have done that. I think it was probably salvageable, but there was quite a bit of ball wear up here in where the police lanes are, or the freeway lanes are, where the police cars. Down here near the pop bumpers in this area, there was a lot of wear. So when I got this game, that the playfield was, in my eyes, trashed. So what I did was I installed an overlay, and I stripped off the playfield with a orbital sander. Obviously, I took everything off and took the playfield off with a sander, and I applied an overlay. And it was an epic fail. Okay, the overlay started to wrinkle and to lift, and it really wasn't a good outcome. And thankfully, a company called Outside Edge started producing a hardtop for this game. So what you see now is a replacement playfield where it's a piece of acrylic and the artwork is printed on the bottom. And this company started producing these, and I was one of the first people to order one. And I did get the hardtop, and then I had to strip the playfield off again and put this hardtop on. And I'm super, super happy with the outcome now. It basically looks brand new in my eyes. But the game itself, when I got it, like I said, it was playfield wear. There was some damage in the backboard with the boards, and I'll open up the back glass here and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's the inside the back box of the High Speed. This is a Williams System 11 from 1986, and primarily, the damage with pinball machines, with their MPUs, their main boards, is normally as a result of alkaline or acid damage from batteries. So this board was no different. It had alkaline batteries installed here. The acid had leaked down the board, and it had damaged a bunch of stuff here. What I did was I took the board out, I removed the batteries, and I cleaned all the corrosion with baking soda and vinegar, and then some isopropyl alcohol when I was done. There was a bit of damage from transistors that had fried in the past, and maybe you can see some of that damage here, especially around this Q73 transistor here, I think. There was a lot of damage around there where that transistor had blown evidently in the past, and I had to make some repairs. I've had to do some other transistor swaps. I actually just did one today that was taking out one of the strings of lights was locked on, and it was this Q52 transistor here. It's a tip 42 transistor. So yeah, a couple transistors had to be swapped out. Some things didn't work on the playfield. And I recapped the power supply, rebuilt that. And if you have a System 11, a Williams System 11, this is a really important modification here. Right before the bridge rectifiers that bring in the power that goes to the power supply, there are no fuses from the factory. There was a mistake made in the electrical design, and there were no fuses protecting the bridges. If those bridges were to fail, were to short out, the diodes in them were to short, this wiring would basically start to catch fire and melt in the game. and it's happened to a lot of people. So they recommend that you now install, I believe these are 8 amp fuses here, one on each AC line for those 2 bridge rectifiers. I had to do that mod, and yeah, I don't think anything else comes to mind that I had an issue with when it comes to the boards. Recently, when I've moved here, the game's back to Germany. I don't know if it was a consequence of moving around or what happened, but 2 of these displays have recently failed. The Player 4 and the credit and coin in display had failed. And I actually stole those from Pinball because I had some, Pinball has been converted now to LED, but this is still the original plasma display. So I did have some spares, but I'm out of spares now. So the next time I lose a display, I'm gonna probably have to modify or take high speed to LEDs as well. Speaking of LEDs, you see the LEDs I have here illuminating the back glass. This is the pattern that I chose to go with. And these are a mixture. I believe most of these are from Comet Pinball. If I had to guess, I'm not 100% sure. This was the first game that I modified with LEDs. I'm not 100% sure where I got those from, but yeah, that's basically the back glass and the backbox area. So I'll raise the playfield and we'll take a look underneath. So let's raise the playfield. If you've never seen a playfield raised on a pinball machine, inside the coin door there'll be a lever. You move the lever to the center and this lock bar will come off. You take the lock bar out, then you can actually slide the playfield glass out of the machine. And you got to be careful that this wasn't replaced with plate glass, because some older machines, people have done that. It's supposed to be safety glass. That way if it breaks, you know, it's going to shatter into a million little diamonds, but some people may have actually put plate glass in it. So I'm going to take the balls out here, because when I raise the playfield, the balls are going to fall and tear things up inside the machine. So this is a System 11. It just hinges back. There is a prop rod here. You do have to be careful that you sit it against the back glass gently, because it does kind of sit against that back glass. But that's the playfield as it's raised. So this machine, got a light here. This machine was, again, this machine was beat. Okay, it was pretty dirty when I got it. A dead giveaway to the life that a pinball machine has seen is inside where the coin door is. If it's dirty, where a million people have had their dirty hands in here moving this coin box in and out, then you can be sure that this thing saw a lot of abuse. This machine, I got it from an operator, and he had this dirty old warehouse and he smoked, so it was pretty much a mess. I think the playfield got left up at some point. I mean, I never really cleaned much in here. I probably should have. But what you got is the power comes into the machine. It goes through a filter box here where the main fuse is, power switch is down there, and then through the transformer. These transformers from Williams, the System 11s, they can be jumpered. This one here is jumpered to make it work on 220 volts, since I'm currently in Germany. But they can also work on 110 or 120 volts for the US. So yeah, here's the bottom of the playfield. This is the mechanism for the diverter in the back. I've had a couple of problems with that. I've actually brazed it a little bit here, or soldered it, tried to fix it. I probably eventually need to try to find some replacement parts, because that thing, it works, but it's really not as snappy as it needs to be. I've had to rebuild I rebuilt the flippers with new parts. This one has had a coil swapped, coil replaced. There's actually, as I look, there's a couple coils that were replaced in this game. It looks like I replaced all 3 of the flipper coils. There's a new flipper coil there. There's the other 2 flippers there. And new end of stroke switches and new parts. So yeah, that's good. You don't really have to replace the coils, but it looks like I did in the beginning. Again, this machine has been LED'd, so you can see the LEDs underneath, and even the spotlights here, the flash lamps have been LED'd. On these System 11s, like High Speed, and my Pinbot next door is like it too, if you put LEDs in the flash lamps, you have to cut off these 330 ohm resistors. You can see I've cut one of the legs and they're just hanging there now. If you don't do that, then these are warming resistors, and the flash lamps will not work properly if you don't do that. So what else can I say about this? Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot to the bottom of the Playfield. I have put illuminated flipper buttons here. You can see that on both sides, and you know, there's the flipper buttons. This game has been fairly reliable. In the beginning, I did have quite a few problems until I rebuilt the power supply. And then, of course, like I said, all the transistors I had to swap on the board. So in the beginning, it was a learning experience. It taught me a lot. But here you can see you can see my little cars. I got these off eBay. They're not original, but I think they're 1/47 scale, I think is what they are. And they come out to be like the perfect size for the pinball machine. I really like it. So this game, if you don't know, Williams High Speed was designed by Steve Ritchie, right? Steve Ritchie worked at Williams, and he works at Stern now. But he worked at Williams, and he tells the story that he had bought a Porsche. Now, of course, in the picture here, I'm pretty sure that's a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. But anyway, he bought a Porsche, and him and his buddy were in the Porsche, and he wanted to take it out and see what it could do. So he took it out on the highways in California. He tells the story, and he got the thing up to 146 miles an hour, which is what the cops actually have clocked him at. And he got pulled over. He got pulled over by the cops. He actually got, I believe he got thrown in the back of the police car. Maybe he went to the police station for it. But he wasn't in a police chase. He just got caught driving the thing at really high speed. So I guess how he explains it is that gave him the inspiration for this game, High Speed. And the game is, you know, the object of the game is to change the lights from green to yellow to red. I'll start a game here. Okay, it's looking for the pinballs. Let me put those back in. Okay, there we go. Let's try it again. So the object of the game is to change the lights from green, and as you change them, they go solid, right? So you hit all the greens, and now the yellows are going to flash, right? And now you got to hit the yellows, and once you hit all three of the yellows, then the reds will flash. So anybody that walks up to this game can normally figure it out. After that, now the light is red, okay? The light here on the ramp is red. And you can illuminate one of these lights by either hitting the target or by shooting the ramp, or actually, I have it in this game, it's looking for the ball. I have it in this game that also shooting into the hole here will also spot a light for you. So right now with the light red, what you need to do is you need to actually shoot it up the ramp, and that will get the cops to chase you. And when the cops are chasing you, okay, so now the cops are chasing us, right? So when the cops are chasing us, we got the beacon going off here. It's really cool. And I got the sound turned down now, but we'll hear it when I play it. It's such a really cool game. And I guess it was kind of the gateway drug into pinball for a lot of people, because what they did with High Speed was pretty incredible. And so yeah, you basically are now running from the cops, and then you have to get away from the cops. And you get away from the cops by once again going up the ramp. And well, maybe I can actually do it when we're playing, but I gotta adjust this slingshot here. Yeah, slingshot's just a little bit. There we go. It's much better. Good. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to put the glass on because it's a lot easier to film the machine with the glass off. But let me get the lock bar back in here, and I'll get the camera set up, and we'll actually play a game High Speed. So, okay, starting off good. We got 2 green lights already. Oh. Okay. Dropped it into the hole. That spots us a light. That's good. You got to watch up coming out of those pop bumpers. It'll a lot of times it goes straight down the middle coming out of there. Couldn't get that one. All right. Well, we got. That's gonna spot us one. There we go. We got a yellow. We got one more, and we'll see if we can. Okay, there we go. Now we're on red. No, thought I was gonna get it in that hole there. Spot me another light. Okay, I got one more at the top. It's the hardest one. There we go. Okay, now the light's red. Now we gotta run the light. Get the cops to chase us. No, that ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna do it. Ball 3. Okay. Boom! All right, we got away. So now I'm going to shoot and lock the second ball in the right hideout, and now the third ball is kicked out into the shooter, into the lane, and now it'll start the multi-ball. Suspect got away. Trying to get control here. Okay, so if I can get the ball held on the left side, then I can shoot that ramp with the right flipper is what I want to do. So I'd like to drop one of the balls over on the left-hand side. No, I totally blew it. Totally blew it. Oh! Okay. I am really out of practice on high speed. I'm bricking every shot. All right, here we go. All right, so now we got our red. There we go. Okay, so we got 2 reds on the top to get. Let's see if I can shoot that hole. There we go. That spots us 1. All right, we got an extra ball. Nice. Over 1.5 million, or 1.3 million, sorry, you get an extra ball. Boom, there we go. All right, so the light is red and we just ran it. Now the cops are after us. See if we can get it around that flipper. Boom! Oh. take the freeway. Okay, so oh, got another extra ball because the special is out. Pretty nice light show there. Okay, we're up to about 1.7 million. Shoot again. Now, you can see that the one of the lights is red. Now, what's happened here is the designers of the game realized that that flipper up there, sorry, camera's in the way, that flipper up there might actually get weak enough where you can't shoot that ramp. So in this situation, you can escape the cops by actually illuminating all of these targets. If you hit all those targets and light up everything, then you can escape by going up this this hole here. So I'll see. Okay, well, we didn't need to do that because I escaped up the ramp. He got away. Okay, let's see if we can get the jackpot this time. No, I missed it again. Well, you have to take my word for it. Yeah. Well, I got one ball left because I did get another extra ball hitting the special. So, yeah, this is a great game. I mean, it's got good flow. The freeway shot right there is really satisfying when you hit it. Okay, so let's see what I got. Okay, so let me try that freeway shot again. There's little star rollover switches up there, and you have to hit both of them, so it knows whether or not you made it all the way around. And you only get the award if you go all the way around. I probably need to wax this Playfield. It's been a little while. The flippers are definitely powerful enough. There we go. That was a freeway shot all the way around. Oh. No. Oh boy. It's trouble. Yeah, it's trouble. Oh boy. Alright, well that's high speed. And what did I end up with? 2 point something million there. 2.2 or 2.272. So yeah, great game. I mean, they made a sequel. They made a second game of the series called The Getaway, which is also really great. But you can't beat the classic Steve Ritchie High Speed, man. One other thing I had to do is I did have to replace that beacon. That beacon motor crapped out after about a month of playing the game. So yeah, you can find them, and you know, this game's been drilled for a lock bar before, you know, because it was in the arcade. But the coin door was actually in pretty good shape. So, you know, original legs. Actually, the artwork on the cabinet is in really good shape. There's some chips here at the top that I did repaint, but all in all, it's a really great game, and it got me into pinball. It's the first machine I bought. I only paid a couple $100 for it, and restored it completely, and yeah, and it's stayed with me. I don't think I'll part with it. I mean, it's kind of like your first love, you know. So as far as pinball goes, I've only been collecting pinball for about 3 years, but this machine really started it all for me. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and look for the next game in the series. Take it easy.